This video is a test of the AIRBANK Pocket 2 Pro. It's a portable bike pump. Before we get into any results, I want to let you know that AIRBANK provided me this product as a gift. I'm also part of their affiliate program. If you would like a discount on this product, 5%, details down below, I'd also receive commission on that. But this testing is completely separate and independent. So before we form any opinions on this, let's review how we tested it. Now it's the middle of winter in Chicago. I'm not about to go on a ride, fake a flat, and use the product. What I've done instead is work with my father, who works at Lucky Break Bicycles in Crystal Lake. Quick shout out to them. So I have access to all the different bike tires that are mentioned on the company website. So all in all, this is a controlled environment. Each inflation will start from 0, unless I mention otherwise. That basically will be testing a full flat out on a ride on your own. For pressure verification, I use the Quarq TyreWiz, and I'll show some footage of that later. On some of these tests, we also use the Clik Valve system, which I'll provide some details on that below as well. It essentially makes connecting and disconnecting a whole lot easier. Definitely recommend it. The goal also isn't to stress the pump unrealistically. It's to have each test case be similar so the results can be compared throughout. With that context, let's place this pump in the market. To set expectations without actually influencing our conclusions, I'm going to throw 3 different bike pumps up on screen. This is to purely provide you with perspective of things such as weight, battery size, max pressure, that sort of thing. Being that this is not a buying guide, I'm intentionally not going to be discussing anything about the price. So all in all, these specs are not to show which product is good, which product is bad, but to begin setting some expectations for our testing. So with all of those expectations in mind, let's see what AIRBANK claims this product can actually do. All of the claims we tested came from AIRBANK's website. AIRBANK listed 8 different inflation scenarios, ranging from road bike tires to gravel to mountain. When it came to the 8 testing scenarios, I kept the road tires the same to ensure that we could properly test the fill times for the AIRBANK. I did then make some changes. For the 700 by 32, I changed the max fill to 50 psi, a more realistic amount. For the 2 mountain bike tires, I switched one to the 29 by 2.35, a size with more volume and more popularity. For the second mountain bike tire, I changed it to a mullet, 27.5 by 2.25. And finally, instead of the 700 by 45, that was switched to the popular 700 by 38. Each scenario was tested in the same way. Grab a new wheel, make sure it's inflated to 0, take the pump, connect it, sometimes using the hose, sometimes directly, set the PSI, time how fast it would fill, and also check how accurate the reading is. The results were then recorded and written down without any major rounding. If a target wasn't hit cleanly, it would then show up pretty obviously in the data. Rather than look at each piece of data together, let's look at the overall trends and draw our conclusions that way. Looking at inflation performance overall, a few patterns become quickly apparent. For the 3 direct road comparison scenarios, inflation times were faster than the manufacturer's published estimates. As tire volume increased from road to gravel to mountain, inflation times increased accordingly. The scenario with the most volume to be filled, 29 by 2.35, filled in 1 minute and 14 seconds. The last comparison worth mentioning is comparing the AIRBANK to a floor pump and a hand pump. Compared to a hand pump, inflation speed is meaningfully faster. Compared to a floor pump, it's slower. That places it between the two, which aligns with expectations for a portable electric pump. Now, speed is only part of the equation. In my opinion, what matters more is accuracy. The way this works in the AIRBANK is you turn it on, set a pressure, and press start. Once you reach that pressure, the device will turn off automatically. Whether or not that's accurate, that's where the TyreWiz came into hand. Now, not every single tire that we used had the TyreWiz. That would honestly be a little bit frivolous. On the gravel tires where direct comparison was possible, measured pressure closely matched the set target, typically within about 1%. More importantly, repeat inflations to the same target produce consistent results. And that consistency is more important in real-world use. Now, when you start stacking inflations, that's when you need to start worrying about battery, heat, and repeatability. With conservative inflations, overall speed tapered gradually rather than dropping suddenly. Inflation time increased by roughly 5 to 6 seconds per fill as battery and heat load increased. Throughout testing, operation remained stable and predictable. As the heat buildup goes, There is a warning on here talking just about that, so it is something that AIRBANK is worried about. But what I like to do is use this little hose. That way the heat dissipates and doesn't exactly reach the valve of your bike. Now let's talk about charging. This guy takes USB Type-C. Partial charges took approximately 5 to 8 minutes. A full recharge from empty took closer to 20 minutes using a fast charger. Using the 29 by 2.2 mountain bike tire, which is listed as 3 inflations to a 50 psi target, we achieved 3 full inflations, with partial capacity remaining for an additional fill at a lower pressure. As expected, lower pressure targets below max allow for more total inflations within a charge. If I ever got a flat and I was using a hand pump, I was limping back home every single time. With this, I would have the confidence to fill near max and be able to continue my ride again. To me, the AIRBANK Pocket 2 Pro is for anybody that wants a reliable backup. It's not going to replace your floor pump. It's not going to replace your air compressor, but what it can replace is this. If you're not topping everything off, you can even get more fills on top of that as well. If something here had underperformed, I'd let you know. But based on these tests, this pump fits a specific role. Depends on whether you ride outside, your riding style, and how risk adverse you are.